Hey guys, it's Adele. I thought I absolutely have to do a follow-up to the wildly popular and successful video I did about dentists and natural dental healing. So this is an update. I think it's been, how long has it been since I posted that video? 4 years. So I've got a 4-year update on that video, and I've also got all of the products, okay, and all of the things I am using right now that caused a dentist to look at my teeth and be like, wow, these are very healthy teeth and gums, and give me a clean bill of dental health. But the funny thing is, that happened shortly after I had gone to a crooked dentist who tried to rip me off and tell me that I needed work. So I'm going to tell you guys all about that as well. Now, this video that I posted got a lot of comments, a lot of marriage proposals, people commenting on the books in the background, and I also got comments from actual dentists on that video, supposed actual dentists. And it was pretty great because then I could just use "Dentists Hate This Video" in the title of that video and have it be absolutely true. So first, I just want to update you on the state of what's been going on with my teeth since that video I made. Now, in that video, I talked about how the dentist had wanted to put me on antibiotics for, a tooth problem I was having, and I treated it naturally and it completely resolved. It had been some type of infection underneath a root canal, but because the severity was minor at the time, I thought, let me try what I'm doing first before I fill that prescription for antibiotics. Because let me get into my first disclaimer of this video. I am a person who is very against Western medicine and pills. I don't trust doctors. I don't trust dentists. Maybe I'm one of the last few people in North America, women who have never been on birth control. I remember when I was younger, I wasn't even having sex and doctors were trying to put me on birth control, telling me it would regulate my hormones. Other than a brief stint after my mother died, I've never been on antidepressants in my life. After my mother died, I was on antidepressants for about 3 months just to help me function in life. I thought, I had nothing left to lose at that point. But I've never go on them ever again. And I had to detox off of those, and it was insane what I went through coming off of those only after 3 months. So in general, I'm a person who is not interested in taking drugs. I don't trust doctors and pills. The second disclaimer is that all I have is anecdotal evidence and things I've researched on the internet. I am not a professional. I know you guys are not going to listen to me, but please do not send me Facebook messages and emails asking me about your teeth. I don't know. Another thing to keep in mind is in that video I was talking about having radiating pains in my jaw. It turns out that radiating pains in your jaw can be a warning sign of a heart attack, which I had about 1.5 years after that video. And I'd been having signs and symptoms of an impending heart attack for about 1 year before it actually happened. But because I was young and otherwise healthy, no one ever thought to tie all these things into an actual heart condition. And it was also a very rare condition that was due to genetic factors. So that entire problem in that video could possibly have been from that, but we don't really know. So first I'm going to tell you about the shiesty dentist. Now picture this. Tell me what you would do in this situation. You have gone to this dentist. First looked at my mouth, he's like, oh, your teeth look amazing. Like, what have you been doing? We'll get to that in a sec. So he was impressed. I said, yeah, I've been doing this new kind of thing. And I said, but, I've been having some pain in my mouth and I'm not really sure why. So he goes back behind, the wall, and I hear him talking to the hygienist. And I heard him specifically say, does she have insurance? And they were like whispering. I heard him saying, does she have insurance? And then I heard him saying, oh no, these are the old ones. And those are the two specific phrases I heard. Does she have insurance? And oh, these are the old ones. So then he comes back holding the slides. And, it's not always what you say, but how you say it. And I feel like, someone who has been in front of the camera for many years, someone who's studied human nature, you know, who's learned to read facial expressions, micro expressions, tone of voice, underlying emotions. These are things that I'm really good at picking up on. But this guy was really straightforward in how enthusiastic and excited and triumphant he was, because he came back with the file and he's like, I found it! I found there's something wrong with your teeth. Haha. Like he almost laughed. He didn't actually laugh, he like almost like, he's like, yes, you know, like he just won something to find something wrong with my otherwise healthy mouth. And he said, you know, this little right here and this little right there, they're cavities that can be starting, and we need to treat these right away. And then he started telling me how if you don't treat them, it can go into a root canal, right? You tell anybody in a vulnerable position those two words, root canal, and you know, usually they'll just throw a bunch of money at you, like, please, please, I don't want a root canal in the future. And so, you know, I was like, oh God, like, and it was like a couple of them too, and I was like, how can my teeth be really healthy, and then I tell you I have a bit of pain, and all of a sudden you find something? Like, that just seems so shisty to me. Now, you know what's funny is I think people think that dentists are rich, right? You would think, you know, this guy gave me this bill for $400 that he recommended for me to come back and book that appointment. So you might think, what is $400 to a dentist if he's rich? And you know what I've observed about humans, and what I've observed about throughout all of human nature. I have friends who are very wealthy. I've known very wealthy people my entire life. And you know, it's not about how much money these people have, it's about their mentality. Not only that, but you know, you might think the dentist is rich, but I mean, that could possibly not be the case. He probably has these huge bills from going to college, you know, student loans. You know, then he's got the cute wife who's, you know, having kids, and the kids need university funds, and the cute wife, you know, she didn't marry a dentist so she could sit at home and clip coupons, right? So she wants to go shopping and, you know, buy all kinds of expensive makeup and nonsense from girls working at the mall like I used to. But then, you know, they also have to have the second house and the lake house and the fancy car and the SUV and the other car and all of these things. So eventually all of these things start adding up. So they could be in debt. You know, the dentists, they have extremely stressful jobs. I have definitely had some dentists who I have noticed have been very emotionally unhinged. And I say this with compassion because I don't know what it could possibly be like, but if you even look up, there's like documentation about how, you know, it affects dentists psychologically, like something can go wrong with them, and I've seen it. As people get more money, they tend to take on more responsibility, you know, bigger properties, and everything starts to increase in proportion to your pay. So most people who are trying to keep up with the Joneses, even if they have, you know, a job like a dentist, they could still be struggling, or they could still just be shisty and want to take your money. So he comes back around saying, I found something. And I actually said to him, excuse me, I overheard what you were saying. Why were you asking if I had insurance? I don't see what kind of difference that would make on what you had to tell me. And he said, oh, and you just see like his face is like, so he didn't really know what to say. And so the hygienist had overheard, and she said, oh, no, it's just a routine question that we ask. And he goes, yeah. And I was like, okay. And then I said, I heard you say something about these are the old ones. What were you talking about? I said, because just moments before you were telling me my teeth looked good and my x-rays came back just fine, you go behind there, you say the old ones, and now there's a problem. And he's like, no, it's fine. And that's all he said was, it's fine. Just dismissed what I said, didn't address what I'd asked him. And so, yeah, and then just handed me the bill. So I was like pretty upset about that. And I got home and I was thinking, I was like, well, I'm having pain and he tells me I need work. Like, what should I do? I thought, okay, I'm gonna get a second opinion. Now you remember in that video that I initially did on this, I had gone and got a second, a third, and a fourth opinion on these dentists, and they all had different things they were telling me. You know, some of them were like, oh, you need antibiotics. Others were like, you need a cavity fill. Others were like, you need to redo the root canal. You need a crown or a bridge. They all had different opinions. So I thought, let me go see one other dentist. I looked this guy up, and he had really good reviews, and people were saying he's a very conservative dentist. And that's what I want. I want a healthcare practitioner who's not going to be like, oh, you have a cough? Here's some antidepressants, right? Which actually has happened to me before. I don't know if there is an agenda to put young women on antidepressants and birth control, but I have had them pushed on me repeatedly by doctors from a very young age when I've gone in with completely unrelated symptoms. But anyway, so I went to see this doctor, and it went just like the people had said online. But there's a little bit of a tweak to it. It was interesting because online, a lot of the comments were saying, this doctor is really conservative. He'll just tell you to use this particular rinse on your teeth, and that'll help reinforce your enamel, and so you'll keep your teeth healthy and prevent you from having to do work in the future. And a number of these comments had said that, so part of me was also like, I want to find out what that rinse is. So anyways, he got some x-rays, took a look at my teeth, came back and talked to me, and he said, and I told him, you know, this dentist said that I need to get cavities in this area. Can you tell me what you think? And he came back and he said, he showed me and he said, well, I can see where he was looking. You know, it creates, you had an old filling there, so it looks like there's a bit of a shadow. Okay, so it makes it look like it could possibly be something that needs to be treated, but you know, I pressed it and it's not soft and it doesn't cause pain on contact, so it's probably not an issue. And if you use this rinse, it can kind of help reinforce that, and you might just be able to clear it up on your own. So he told me I could try the rinse. He said there were 2 types. There was one that you could use daily and then one you could use weekly or something like that. And he told me that I could just use the weaker one weekly because my situation wasn't so bad. And I remember thinking, why is he always talking about this rinse? Like, is it really expensive and he's making money off it? Is it a multi-level marketing scheme? But I told him, where can I buy it? And he says, oh yeah, just go to like London Drugs. And he said you have to go and ask, sometimes they have it behind the counter. Because I had actually read what they said online. I went to the drugstore and tried to find it myself and I couldn't. So he said it's behind the counter. So if you're curious what this rinse was, I'll link it below. I haven't tried it. I didn't try it at all. I told him that I'd had a mineralizing toothpaste, a remineralizer, and if that would work. And he said, oh yeah, anything like that is really useful as well. So he really won me over when he said that too. An actual dentist told me that too, and I'll show you which one I use. And then he told me that based on the placing of that same filling, that it looked like it had been worn down a little more on the outer edge than the rest. And he said, this looks like what might be happening if you are clenching your teeth at night. And that's why you're having the pain. And he says, do you have pain just in the morning? And I was like, yes. I was like, yes, I'm having the tooth pain only in the morning. And he's like, yeah, well, that's probably what it's from. And I do remember having woken up in the middle of the night and my teeth were clenched. So he said, yeah, you know, it's about stress and things like that. So I healed that problem too, and I'm going to explain it a bit later. But so yeah, I left that dentist appointment. I think it cost me like $40 to $60. I was very happy with that. You know, I got home and I ripped up that other $400 bill from that other dentist, and then I rejoiced that we now have the internet and in my own proclivity to take my health into my own hands. And I was very happy with my healthy and excellent teeth. And so now I'm going to move into telling you about the products that I use to keep my teeth beautiful, healthy, and white. So let's start with the superficial. I have been using this product to keep my teeth Hollywood white for about 10 years. I've been using it for 10 years. And I remember specifically, you know, I always felt like my teeth looked really good and white after using this, but I remember a friend was coming to pick me up in the morning. I opened my door to say hi to her, and she looks at me and goes, did you whiten your teeth? And I had just done this, and I was like, yes. And she was like, yeah, I could tell, they look so white. To me, that just stuck in my mind, that there was noticeably whiter teeth. So it's called 5 Minute Natural White, and you buy it in a box at the drugstore. It comes with the whitening gel. It comes with also, sometimes it comes with a freshening, like a blue bottle of clear liquid. I used to use that stuff. I don't like it. It leaves a weird feeling in my mouth, so I stopped using it. But I used this, and it comes with this little tooth piece, and you just put the gel in and you put it in your mouth, and you're supposed to let it sit for just 5 minutes. I leave it for like 15-20 minutes while I'm getting ready to make a video. And it's great for removing stains. It's just like, I don't even know why people spend money on going to dentists and getting it done anymore. And I've also tried Crest white strips before, and those made my teeth so sensitive. Like I said, I've been using this stuff for 10 years. It's only about $15-20 at the drugstore. And it lasts like 6 months, and there's no sensitivity for me using this. So yeah, definitely recommend this. Go to your drugstore and get it. I'm going to link this product and any of the products listed below in this video as well, if you just want to check them out there. So 5-minute white. This is the remineralizing paste that I was talking to the dentist about, that he was in approval of. It's called MI paste, so topical paste with bioavailable calcium and phosphate. So these are the building blocks of your teeth. These are the minerals that your teeth use to keep their health and to keep them strong. In the past, people would get these things naturally from the foods they ate, but now, as we very well know, there's a lot of mineral content that's lost in the food we eat, on top of all the other assaults that we're doing to our body. So this stuff, I think, has made a huge difference. And if you look, it's just this like pure, dense white paste. Like, it's purely thick and white. It says professional use only. I think you have to go to a dentist or a naturopath to get this. I am going to link to it below, whether it's a link to buy the product if you're able to, or even just to the website so you can check it out for yourself and get yourself some of that. What I kind of do with this is I put a bit of a Q-tip, probably about once a week, and I just put it on the sensitive areas of my teeth. So those areas where he saw the shadows, or areas where I've had old cavities and stuff like that. And I just let it sit for about 15 minutes, and then you rinse it out completely, and it just works on that. It's really important to work on the health of your teeth from the inside out. And one thing that I found that has made a huge difference in my life, not only on my teeth, but on helping me with my depression, has been vitamin D. So I've got vitamin D3. And I know that, you know, for you probably, if you're a health conscious person who's into supplements, you probably like, oh, I take vitamin D. I used to take vitamin D before, but I would just take these chalky horse pills, and I would take one a day. And the amount I was getting from that was negligible. And they were not the bioavailable form. Okay, so I feel like those probably were completely wasted on me, and the amount was not enough. This has 1,000 IUs in one drop. I take between 6,000 and 10,000 IUs of D3 in the winter time. As a person with dark skin, you know, my skin does not absorb as much vitamin D from the sun. I love living in Canada. You know, I was born and raised here. I live for the snow and skiing and snowshoeing and all of that. This is my home now, but genetically, I'm not supposed to be here. So I have to use things to help my body along, and this is one of them. Most people are vitamin D deficient in this day and age. And vitamin D helps your bones and the formation and strength of your teeth, okay? And it also really helps, almost magically, clear up depression. So get the drops, get the D3, and get these ones. Like these ones I got, I researched the very best ones. And these are BioClinic Naturals. So these ones are a form that your body will recognize. This product I got from Cambrian Pharmacy in Calgary. I'm a huge fan of this store. It's like a normal Rexall store, but it's got like extra organic skincare, natural health products, and they've got an extensive selection of vitamins. So this little bottle will probably last me for about 4 months, and it cost me $14. It's been amazing. So now my friend Tim is an extremely smart guy, and he wrote an article on this, which is the only reason why I decided to try it, because I don't like things that are pseudoscience or like super popular. I tend to think it's BS unless I can see science or unless I have anecdotal evidence from someone that I trust, and Tim has both in his article on his experiment with oil pulling. So I'll link the article below, but I started doing this, and I feel like this is what, like, the doctors, the dentists were like, wow, your teeth look super healthy. So yeah, just regular coconut oil. In the mornings when you first wake up, you just take a tablespoon, put it in your mouth, swish it through for about like 15 to 20 minutes. Then you just want to spit it into the garbage and rinse your mouth and brush your teeth. So essentially what this does is, I feel like it keeps your gums supple, and it's also antibacterial, antiviral, helps keep you more healthy. It's supposed to pull toxins from your body somehow. I don't know if it works, but I've been a lot healthier and my teeth have been in excellent shape since I started doing this, so I'm not going to question it, it works. And then, because I'm paranoid about the bacteria and viruses that this may have drawn out, I take a bit of hydrogen peroxide. This is the first aid level solution. Don't get the super strong ones. If you look here, it just says for wounds, so it's like safe and pretty normal. And I just mix a tiny bit of this with water, and after I'm done the oil pulling, I will swish through with this and spit that out. And that's great, again, just for disinfecting the mouth, but also for, it's a little bit of a tooth whitener. It's a little bit of an extra punch for whitening your teeth, so I love that. Another thing, this may seem simple, flossing. I'm so surprised by how many people don't floss. And when I went to that second doctor, he was looking at my teeth, he's like, these are some healthy, well-kept teeth. And he says, you floss, don't you? And I said, yes, I do. And so I like to use these little ones like this. You know, I hate that it's using up plastic, but if it gets you to floss, get started on these or whatever you need. It's important to floss every evening. And I know there's people who think it's, you know, oh, it's such a frou-frou thing to do, you don't need to floss. Try not flossing for 3 days. Take a flosser, floss your teeth, and then see how it smells. It's gross. You need to be doing this, and then I'll brush my teeth after. I have recently found that I love this toothpaste. It's Xylowhite from Now Solutions. Yeah, fluoride-free, SLS-free, gluten-free, paraben-free, reduces plaque, whitens, and it has a fresh taste. And yeah, this was the one that Tim had mentioned in his article, and I love this stuff. The next thing that made a huge difference in my journey is using an electric toothbrush. And this is the Bluetooth Oral-B Braun Triumph Professional Care. I've been using this for about 4 years, this exact brush. These are the brush heads that it came with. They tell you to replace brush heads, you know, so often because they want to make extra money. In my opinion, I've just been using the same, I use the same brush head for like a year or more. I disinfect them with ozone water or alcohol every month or so, and I have no problems. I feel like this really works well because it's got like just the extra vibration, the extra cleaning, helps to get everything out, like really scrubs, like your teeth feel like that fresh from the dentist clean every time you use this. So I'm in love with this. Excellent, worth every penny to not go to the dentist and get cavities and root canals. I've got this on top in case you're wondering. It is a Steripod. So it's just like a little clip. I don't know if you guys have figured it out by now, but I'm obsessed with cleanliness, hygiene, and germs. And so for me, I don't want my toothbrush just hanging out in the bathroom. I like to keep it covered like that. And this is also great for traveling. If you, I don't want to just throw my toothbrush into a bag, I just keep this on top. And if you look right here, it's got this little chip which has got clove and oregano oil in it, which are very powerful natural antibacterials. So it kind of smells a little bit like oregano. It comes in really cool colors, and I love these things. I've used them for a really long time, and I'll link them below. So now the final thing I want to mention is something not to do. If you're a health conscious person who likes to use products like I've talked about, this is a mistake that you may have been making, and can be detrimental to your dental health. And you know, I first found out about this on the Bulletproof blog with Dave Asprey. And he was talking about how he was getting cavities and he couldn't figure out why. And then he realized it was because he was taking these magnesium crystals to help sleep at night. And he would brush his teeth, and you know, because it's a sleeping aid, you would have it by your bed, you take it before bed and you go to sleep. Well, you're not brushing it out of your mouth. And it actually turns out that the citric acid in this is really erosive to your teeth. So if you're doing this before bed and going to bed, which you would think to do because it's to help you sleep, it's really bad for your teeth. And that was a light bulb for me because I heard that about 4 years ago, and at that time I had been doing that exact same thing with this, and I was getting cavities. So it turned me off of it. I got really, freaked out. I stopped doing that, and I stopped taking this. And I recently got back into it after the doctor was like, you are having stress while you're sleeping. And I thought, well, what can I do to calm myself down when I sleep? So I have a number of different things I do. And this is one of them now, actually. And I love this stuff. This is magnesium bisglycinate. Bisglycinate, magnesium bisglycinate supports the heart and nervous system. So, with the magnesium, it is really great for your nervous system. And I feel like I can tell when my nervous system is on edge. I just feel kind of edgy, and I feel a little bit jumpy, and I just feel stress. I can feel stress in my body. And so there are things that you can do to work through that. But if you really want to support your nervous system and have a good night's sleep, like this will make you so naturally nice and sleepy while also supporting your nervous system. Definitely recommend this. You just take a scoop of this in water mixed in before bed, but right after you take it, that's when you brush your teeth, okay? So don't forget that. And this stuff is awesome. I've got my favorite brands of this linked below as well. So I hope you all learned something from this video. I love the idea of sharing information and knowledge around the world and empowering ourselves. One thing that I've always wanted to know is, how does my body work? This is an earth translation. Well, you're not brushing it out of your mouth. And it actually turns out that the citric acid in this is really erosive to your teeth. So if you're doing this before bed and going to bed, which you would think to do because it's to help you sleep, it's really bad for your teeth. And that was a light bulb for me because I heard that about 4 years ago, and at that time I had been doing that exact same thing with this, and I was getting cavities. So it turned me off of it. I got really, freaked out. I stopped doing that, and I stopped taking this. And I recently got back into it after the doctor was like, you are having stress while you're sleeping. And I thought, well, what can I do to calm myself down when I sleep? So I have a number of different things I do. And this is one of them now, actually. And I love this stuff. This is magnesium bisglycinate. Bisglycinate, magnesium bisglycinate supports the heart and nervous system. So, with the magnesium, it is really great for your nervous system. And I feel like I can tell when my nervous system is on edge. I just feel kind of edgy, and I feel a little bit jumpy, and I just feel stress. I can feel stress in my body. And so there are things that you can do to work through that. But if you really want to support your nervous system and have a good night's sleep, like this will make you so naturally nice and sleepy while also supporting your nervous system. Definitely recommend this. You just take a scoop of this in water mixed in before bed, but right after you take it, that's when you brush your teeth, okay? So don't forget that. And this stuff is awesome. I've got my favorite brands of this linked below as well. So I hope you all learned something from this video. I love the idea of sharing information and knowledge around the world and empowering ourselves. One thing that I've always wanted to know is, how does my body work? You know, this is an earth translation machine. That's what this body is for. This body helps me feel